Surprise. It's cold. I'm gonna get a jacket. Wait up. Right, so before we start, I'd like to say I'm not a big fan of horror movies because most of them are just like jump scare for jump scare's sake. The story's not that great. There's not much content behind it, except for maybe Get Out. Get Out was pretty fucking good. But this movie, I gotta say, I was thoroughly impressed with this movie. I did walk into the movies not expecting anything, believing that it was just another one of those typical trashy horror movies, but holy shit, I was impressed with this. This was a thrilling ride. Also, I would kind of classify this movie more of a suspense thriller than a horror. But yeah, holy shit, the director, the actors, the cinematographer did a brilliant job. The use of camera shots, soundscape, the bass, and there's some pretty unexpected twists and turns throughout the movie. So the movie is basically about this guy who's kind of like a sociopath, and he locks up this girl, and this girl escapes, and then he comes after her. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into too much about the story. Most of it's in the trailer anyways. But yeah, oh my god. This is some crazy shit, man. I was pretty fucking spooked out watching this movie. The cinematography on this thing is incredibly spooky. It makes you feel very uncomfortable, very, very eerie. The use of empty space. Often you have a wide shot with the protagonist on, say, one side of the screen, and this majority of the screen will be empty space. And the way it's shot is just a steady camera still, no camera movements, just looking at the protagonist in this space doing stuff. And your eyes will just be looking at the empty space because we know that there's an invisible man, that the invisible man could be standing right there. And on top of that, we almost feel like the invisible man looking at her from the angle. We're just standing there looking at her in the space, doing things, and she's not aware of us. It almost feels like very stalkerish. It's kind of like You, the Netflix series You, except if Joe Goldberg was invisible. Like, imagine that. Whenever the protagonist is trying to walk around the house, trying to look for certain things, is always shot on like a medium close-up, which means it's from your chest up, kind of like this shot right here. This is kind of medium close-up. And you will just be looking with her, trying to figure out what she's trying to look for or what is out there that's trying to get her. But you wouldn't be able to see shit because she can't see shit, and because the camera angle is so tight. And there are a few times where, you know, the classic spooky turnaround where the protagonist hears a sound, walks to the sound, turns out to be nothing, and then they slowly turn around and and you just get spooked. Except in this movie, they don't do that. They do far worse. They stretch it out. The protagonist will hear a sound, she'll walk towards the sound, and it will be nothing, right? Of course, it won't be nothing. And it's when she does a turnaround, she'll do the slow turnaround, and there will still be nothing. It just leaves you hanging on that strand of tension, and you never know when it's gonna strike you. And often subtle things, the smallest things just happen. Like, for example, in a wide shot, it will be completely still. The protagonist walks off the screen, and suddenly one thing will move, and it's just like, fuck. And the soundscape, the use of heavy bass to create that very eerie, very uncomfortable atmosphere, did a brilliant job. I mean, most of the movie I was sitting like this. I mean, alright, I'm not very good with horror movies to begin with, so maybe most horror movies I'll sit like that anyways, but gosh, this one. The opening scene, just, the moment the movie starts, it was tension. It was suspense. And it leaves you at the edge of your seat. It's so incredibly uncomfortable to watch, but you just keep on watching because it's, you know, you're here for that experience kind of thing. And yeah, it's a very intense movie. There were also some very interesting twists and turns in the narrative that you do not see coming. Like, it's so unexpected, trust me. Like, you know, the moment you think, oh, the protagonist is onto something, she might do something that might help her out, and then bam, something happens. I don't want to say it because spoilers and stuff, right? But shit, you just don't see it coming, and it scares the shit out of you. Like, this movie is just, oh my god. Pretty good ending as well, you know. Often you get horror movies with really bad scripts, and the story's bland, and the ending is usually very unsatisfying.
I feel so unsatisfied.
This movie had a pretty good ending. I'm pretty happy with it. It's smart. People might see it coming. I kind of didn't. Like, I kind of saw it coming as it was happening. Well, I kind of realized what has happened when it happened before they revealed to us what has happened. But I did not see it coming. Yeah, everything was pretty well set up. And yeah, I mean, I just want to say how incredibly tense the viewing experience of this entire movie is. Anyways, gosh, enough. I think that does a pretty good job of summing up this movie. I think most people will like this movie. If you're into horror movie, you'll definitely like this. I mean, it's not your traditional type of horror, but you know, if you like the suspense, like that thriller, you'll definitely like this movie. Even if you don't, it's not so bad scaring yourself once in a while. That's coming from someone who don't really watch movies like this, alright? So you can trust me. This is a pretty good movie. Anyways, give me a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really supports me, helps me out, and comment below on what movie you would like to see me review next, because, don't know, you might be responsible for the next video. And go watch this movie, enjoy the movie, and get spooked the shit out of you.